life is a process where I see from, and nowadays people are very much confusing themselves because of having a lot of information around, and the main reason for that, for them not to accept the facts, because there is a lot of information, and because of the lot of information it's hard for people to do the practical on those things and try to adopt those things for a while and work on them, because nowadays people want everything in a short period of time and they want to grasp everything, so someone can give them just like short videos or something like that so they can understand. But basically we see, so life, understanding of about the life, then I think the main thing we need to understand what life is. Who are you, the one living inside this body? Because the body is made out of matters, or it is an object that we can say. The body that you are carrying now, it is an object because there is a life force that is moving this body, and you are walking, you are talking, you are going somewhere, or you're driving because of that life force. If that life force will gonna go away from you, you won't gonna say this is a living person, because after the life force gone, or it goes away, then it means the person is no more living, it's a dead person. So here the question comes that very interesting for me, because now if we see from this perspective that there is a life force in every living being, that's why we call them the living beings. But if there is no life force inside of any living beings, then they are considered to be dead living beings. So the question is that what are we actually, what are we made of actually? So when we go in the depth to find out what we are and what we are made of, so it's very interesting thing to find out, because we are an organ, living organ. So if we are in a living organ, then our body, that body that we carrying, that is made out of the matter or objects, like from water, from earth, from air. That's the thing that giving us the life force. But what is happening with the life force? Because life force is just pretend that this is, just pretend like this is your life force and this is your part of body. So if the part, this is your part of body and this is life force, so the life force is carrying your body, whatever activities you are doing in your day-to-day life, your life force that carries your body. If there is no life force, this is dead. So the life force is important, but the life force is attracted, or you can say works on the basis of the energy from the cosmic. Because when we talk about the energy, so we are surrounded by the electromagnetic fields which are creating charge again and again, and that's how the earth is moving and earth is working around. That's another chapter, we can discuss something, other videos about the earth, because earth is also a living organ if we see from the perspective. Because in this world we are experiencing and we are collecting the data. That's what I get it from my ETs. So my ETs told me that we are also the human, because we are so fascinated about ourselves. So let me put it on the word, human beings are said is like they are mostly compulsive living beings, and they have so much ego in themselves because they are born, or they have the will of free will. That's why like they can do whatever they want to do, and they can make some rules, some like by the politicians, and they can go on the governments, like many other things. That's how the same way, like if we suppose like why a dog is not, or cat or any other pet, they are not ruling the world, because they don't have the free will, they don't have the capacity that a human being is having in this human body. So that's how we can figure it out, like we are the most like advanced species on the planet earth, that how we can see it. So but we also works on the life force. If there is no life force, then there is no living thing, everything will gonna be dead. So that's how we understand then, from my perspective, that earth is also an living organ, because it providing us the things that a life force needs. So we connected to the earth in a way, if we have to understand, and our existence exists inside the nature, not outside the nature, because there is nothing outside the nature, because nothing can bloom outside the nature, everything will gonna be destructive outside the nature. So everything works inside the nature. So we are connected directly to the nature. In nature we can count many entities like earth, fire, water, and many other things that we need it for ourselves. Like this human body, we need the vitamins, we need the iron. So it's not like someone will gonna start chewing the iron now for that iron, but we are getting some other things, but without getting to know how we are getting it. So everything that we are surrounded by the environment, that is helping the life force, because once the life force is getting connected and getting surrounded or getting grounded by the nature, then it start automatically picking up the dots and start working in the back forth. Because when we have to understand all of those things, you have to go back, because there is no future, the future doesn't exist. But in some ways that future exists, because that's how the psychic are working nowadays. Like psychic predicts something and the prediction comes true, because that's how the psychic works, and they can predict the future. But this is not the future, this is just they getting the information from their stimulation or from the different dimension, from the different beings, because they have the connection and they can talk to them, or they can get the information somehow. This is also another talk, but let's come back to the again life force, because life force is a thing that scientists cannot find it, because it is not a thing that can be seen, because like it's like the air, you cannot see the air, but still there is air and we are breathing. So in this perspective, and from this perception, if you're trying to figure out what actually it is, then it teaches us many things, it opens many doors, and it is also a gateway to another realm where we can see and we can travel to different dimensions. And traveling to different dimension is also, it doesn't mean that you can astro travel there, because dimension is nothing that you can travel, but dimensions are something that where you can realize that where in which state you are on your life, and what you want and what you don't want. These all things matters when you start picking up the last chapter of your life, after all the struggles, hustles and bustles, because after that you start using your vessel, like that's in your body, and you start opening your chakras in your life. Because some people, the greedy people, I say, the people who want some kind of awakening, they want to get it and trigger by some other techniques. But in some people, they get it naturally. It does, you don't have to do anything with some practices or some mantras, because when it happens, actually there is a thing that works behind that gives the energy to your life force, which is your faith, which your belief. Because some people have the strong belief, and some people have they don't have the belief, or some people like they just want to get the things with some techniques and stuff. So it works in many other ways, but the natural way that works for most of the people is because they believe in something, and when they believe, it doesn't matter what you believe, because what you believe isn't a reflection of your being a believer, and you receive that one. But if you have doubts behind your belief and your faith in something, then it doesn't work, because there is always a temptation to get it to the level and the experience it. And when you start experience those things, it is no mystical thing, because when you start having the experience, it means there is an experiencer there, which is experiencing, and the things has already been experienced by the experiencer. So these things works because it's in simple word, if I put it, just like it works with the freedom. You have to give the freedom and permission and accept the things the way it is coming into your life. And the way it's coming and you are trying to get aware about those things, then you can get much more information in your life, what happened and how it happened and why it happened, and what you want to see coming in your life, that you can also predict those things. You can build your psychic abilities, and there are many other things. You can start doing the astral travel, but it takes time. Everything takes time. It's not a piece of cake that you can cook it in an hour and you can have it. It's gonna take time, at least 3 or to 6 months, to realize what is happening, and changing the paradigms in your life. Because when you are changing the paradigms, in that period of time, you are changing and making the different habits and accepting the other laws about the nature and other laws about the humanity and many other things. So that's why I told you, it is a gateway, or it is a door to another realm where you can find yourself more happy and more healthy and more wealthy, and you can do whatever you want to do in your life. Because when you are happy, when you are content, when you have peace in your life, then things are very easy to achieve. But when there is a chaos in the life, then things are very much disturbed and you cannot achieve anything. So just stay alive, be happy. Subscribe this channel. Don't forget to subscribe this channel and like it. Hope this information will gonna work out in your life. I give my best wishes to you.